You know what's worse? The worst thing about this condition. I think the worst thing about this condition is enjoying food that will naturally make you smell repulsive to everyone. You're enjoying the greatest, sloppiest, fatty food, but if you ever indulge in it, man, you're gonna clear a room. Or you're gonna get so many rejections from people that it's like, you can't really live a normal life. You could try, but it's very hard. And it's funny that I honestly think I am an emotional eater. I don't think I'm emotional. I know I'm an emotional eater. I eat away my stress. I used to be fat. I was a fat kid for the majority of my life, to be honest. I was always a fat kid. I know I wouldn't say always. Maybe around the age of 12, I started growing some man titties, and then I started getting a fat pudgy belly, and then I started getting stretch marks everywhere. And then I don't know, and yeah, throughout most of my life, I guess when this condition started to hit at the age of 15, that didn't stop me from being fat, but at the same time, I was also in sports, so I was doing like football, so I was losing weight, gaining muscle, but I was still constantly like eating and shit. And once I just got out of just football and everything else, like I gained weight back. But even in times where I'm like skinny, I don't know if I consider myself skinny now. I'm still technically overweight. I'm not at my BMI, which is supposed to be 25. I'm like 5 to 6 pounds overweight at the moment. But even when I was skinny, I was always thinking about food. And it's like depriving yourself of things that make you feel really good because there's going to be this negative consequence. Oh my God, someone says I smell like shit, or oh my God, I can't go into public places or be around, go to a job. But that's another big thing. Many times, like I would just give up on just eating. I would try to restrain or resist the temptation to eat some ribs or eat steak or eat something. But then one day I give in, and then the next day when I had to show up to work or show up to school, I would get so many reactions, and it would piss me off, and it made me so angry. But I couldn't do anything about it. It's like I'm addicted to food. I think in another life, and if there's like alternate universes, I'm probably like a junkie or something. I'm like probably like a meth user. I'm probably like hopped up on drugs, meth, something, some illegal substance. If there's such thing as alternate universes, I'm probably like a crackhead, sucking dick for a dime bag. Some shit, because I'm just addicted to just, I guess, pleasure. I just have the worst temptations or the worst addictions to things. I don't know how to cope properly. So that's why I just rely on food. You know, I actually did some a little light research on what's the effective ways to cope with stress. And they give you like just generic things. They talk about, eat healthy and exercise and talk out your feelings. That doesn't make me feel good. The shit that makes me feel good is eating a big ass juicy fucking hamburger with fries or baby back ribs and fries, and then have like some root beer, preferably a root beer. I haven't had a root beer float in a long fucking time, bruh. Oh my God. I haven't had a root beer float in a long time. I was like out in Jacksonville, whatever, just driving, and I saw this like fast food restaurant had like some, I guess, a billboard or sign up that said root beer, it wasn't root beer, Dr. Pepper shake, which reminded me of root beer float. And I'm thinking, what's the difference between a Dr. Pepper shake and a root beer float? And I was like, damn, I would love to try a Dr. Pepper shake. But then I remember, oh shit, if I drink some fucking soda or any type of delicious shit, I'm gonna smell even worse than I do now. So it's like, fuck, right? And I'm basically just saying, like, having this odor condition and loving food is its own personal hell. You have this, it's like life is playing a trick on you or some shit. You know what I mean? It feels as if there's like this dangling carrot in your face. And whenever you try to partake in the carrot, grab the carrot, consume the carrot, you get shocked or something. The shock is the odor. The actual shock is the social rejection that you get when you try to consume the odor. The bait that's in your face when you want to take it, and I have the money to take it, bait being just food in general, and you take it, you partake of it, you consume it, you enjoy it. Immediately after you enjoy there have been so many times in my life. Immediately after I enjoyed, I just, relapsed. And I just enjoyed whatever food it was, whether it's cookies, donuts, root beer floats, ice cream, goddamn ice cream. The next day, it'd be so bad. It would be so bad, and it's so infuriating, frustrating. I don't even know if I can really live this long just to eat just a vegetarian diet. Even though there's a lot of health benefits to eating a vegetarian diet, but even then, I can't eat whatever I want. I don't even know what I have to avoid and shit like that. There's just certain things I think I should avoid, but I don't know I'm still not entirely sure if beans make me smell. I'm still not entirely sure if corn makes me smell. I'm still not entirely sure if lima beans, black-eyed peas, green peas, or I don't even know if tofu. I eat tofu all the time. I don't even know if that shit makes me smell. And I'm hoping it doesn't, but there's always this possibility that it does. And if it does, then should I limit it and have even a more restrictive diet? To that, I say, fuck no, I'm not gonna just continue to limit shit and just only eat fucking lettuce and spinach because that's the only couple of things I know is not gonna make me smell. I gotta eat some shit. So, if there was ever any confirmation that certain things I'm currently eating, which is very limited, is making me smell offensive, these motherfuckers gotta just deal with it. And I have a pretty good feeling that there are some things, I'm still eating grapefruit, but if you're gonna tell me not to eat fruit at all anymore, I'm gonna say fuck you. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is, man, as an emotional eater, when you're told not to eat, it makes you feel I don't want to say there's no point in living. That's sort of dramatic to say there's no point in living if you can't eat. But man, you're just taking away one of the best pleasures in life. One of the best pleasures in life. And man, it's just crazy because food in itself is such a essential part in many different social settings. Whether you talk about going to marriage or something like that, I guess a wedding, I should say, going to a wedding, a graduation, Super Bowl, even going to a funeral, there'll be food. You know what I mean? Going to any social event, common social event across America or just throughout the world, there's always food present. And when you have this condition where food is your enemy now, at least the delicious food is there are some delicious vegan choices, but let's be honest. Having a sloppy ass steak with all the grease and fat glistening, and having some French fries with I don't know, peach cobbler. Ooh, does anybody know about that peach cobbler? That shit's so fucking good. And with having this condition, you feel like you're being left out of it. There's so many times when I'm just driving around, or going to a supermarket. I'm going to the supermarket, I'm seeing donuts, $3.99, buy one, get one free. I see a lot of buy one, get one free for Oreos, or sometimes I might go to the freezer aisle and I'll see them passing by some ice cream. I'm fuck, I can't get that shit, and it just makes me mad. It actually really makes me really upset. It makes me really upset when I'm driving and I'm driving past fast food restaurants, Or just regular restaurants. I'm like, oh, Longhorn Steakhouse. I never tried that. I would love to try that one. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't, because if I try it, I'll smell like shit. Or just, that's like the frustration. I just get frustrated every time I try to go out. That's just what it is. And it's funny, like, if I ever do link up with people, like, I don't know, go to some type of social group, meet people, even in those instances where they say like, hey, let's go out and, I don't know, to a bar or go to a restaurant, I will always have to decline. Or if I do go, I would have to like just drink water or some shit just to prevent the possibility that I will smell worse the day after. That doesn't sound fun. That sounds fucking terrible. I just hate the fact that I gotta hate eating good food. And I don't mean good in meaning healthy. I mean good in meaning it tastes delicious. It just feels unfair. It feels really unfair. And I'm saying that as a heart of a fat boy. Man, I just hate, I don't know, it just makes me angry. Honestly, when I see people eating food and they look like they're having a good time, it makes me want to punch them in the face. Because it's like, you don't understand why I can't access that shit. I don't know. And man, I just love baby back ribs. I love hamburgers. I love hot dogs, chili hot dogs. What is it called? Is it called chili hot dogs? Hot dogs with like chili sauce on it, and then you have like some cheese. I know Sonic used to have that, like chili dogs. I love that shit. Even though I haven't eaten in a long time, and I would love to eat that shit. I love eating junky Chinese food with some greasy ass fried rice, some lo mein, and some fried chicken. You feel me? I love eating brownies. I love eating Oreos. And now Oreos have so many different varieties. They got the double stuff, and then they got like the mint chocolate, then they got like, I think they have something with like velvet cake or something, like velvet cake Oreos, and then they have like a peanut butter version. They have so many versions of Oreos that it's a crime that I have not partaken in one of them. I just ate, well, technically I ate the original one and I ate the mint one. And I had this condition for like, again, 18 years. And when I think about all the good times I had within those 18 years, there's very few. It's seldom of me having a good time with this condition. But the moments I can remember where I had a really good time is when I just binged ate a whole, I don't want to say plate, a whole assortment of just different items I've always wanted to eat. Like in 2021, when I quit my job to go to this current job, I bought, what did I get? I got so much. I had like cinnamon toast crunch. I got like salt and vinegar potato chips. I got Cheetos. I had like 2 stacks of cheesecake with like different variety of the cheesecake. You had a chocolate one, then I had the regular cheesecake, then I had some with like nuts on it. Then I got some, and then I had like ice cream. Man, this shit was like binge eating in just most of my life, or were like the greatest moments in my life. And that sounds very pathetic. And I have to admit, I am a pathetic man, but it's like when you're deprived of something, when you're I guess punished in some way, and I guess the punishment is like the social rejection you're gonna get when you eat whatever you want the thing even more because it makes you feel good. It's like some type of scarcity because you're like, oh, I can't eat this. Man, maybe it's not even scarcity. I would say it's like a forbidden fruit. If you eat this, there's gonna be negative consequences. But don't eat this delicious forbidden fruit, Adam, or some shit. Because if you eat it, then you'll find out that you're naked, and and then you created sin, and then everybody is, I don't know. I was trying to do some Bible reference. I'm not really that knowledgeable about the Bible. But the point I'm trying to make is it's extremely frustrating to only eat almost the same thing almost every day and still feel like you're not treated or cured or whatever. You probably brought it down to a lesser degree, but nonetheless, if I start sweating or whatever, like I still can see some visible reactions, and it makes you feel like, what's the fucking point sometimes, you know? What's the point if I still gonna smell bad and people are gonna treat me like I'm dirty or whatever? Why don't I just buy a goddamn burger? I mean, I have a remote job, so I don't have to go out as much as I used to. But one thing I will say about binge eating, even though I really enjoy it, I hate the after effect because, again, like I said, once you eat whatever the fuck you wanted to eat so badly, it immediately dawns on you that you're going to smell really bad, and that makes you feel bad, and also it makes you want to stay inside, which also plays like a psychological role. It dampens your mood when you can't go outside, and at the same time, then you get fat, and then you have to lose the weight, and it takes longer to lose weight than to gain weight, so then that becomes a process. I would say with this condition, it has enabled me to be a binge eater. I have never really been a binge eater like that. I mean, I did like overeat. I always overate because I was always like obese when I was a kid. When I was like in my 20s, and even, well, I guess I'm not obese now, but definitely in my 20s, most of my 20s, I was obese and shit. But this condition has triggered a binge eating disorder for me, to the point like if I get really sad and I'm just in a I don't give a fuck stage, I'll start ordering. I'll start ordering whatever. I'll start ordering KFC. I'll start ordering, and with the technology we have today, where we can order things on our phone. We can order things online. I don't have to drive to a location to get my food. The food comes to me. You know what I mean? And I don't even have to like welcome or open up the door and talk to the person and grab the food from them. I could tell them to leave the food at the door. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just ranting about it because I've really been thinking about going binge eating. I feel like I was gonna have a cheat day. I was really contemplating on the idea of having cheat days. Every couple of weeks, I just go out someplace and eat whatever the fuck I want. And I've been thinking about, since I'm in Jacksonville, in Miami, like, okay, the fast food restaurants where they have burgers in Miami, the only burger fast food restaurants are McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Those are the only fast food burger joints in Miami. But when I went to Jacksonville, when I'm currently in Jacksonville, they have those burger chains, but they have additional ones like Whataburger, Crystal Burger, and Hardee's. And I'm like, I never ate a Hardee's or a Whataburger or a Crystal. Maybe if I have my cheat day, I'll go to Crystal and Whataburger and Hardee's and get all three of these burgers, sit down and try each of them out just to see like if there's any type of difference in the deliciousness of the burger. If I've been missing out on the burger chain, on this fast food burger chain. I've been thinking about that. I don't know if I'm gonna make it a mukbang, but I thought about it. But then like another part of me thought to myself, damn, I don't know if I want to do that because then I'm going to smell really bad and I'm going to get fat. And the thing about binge eating, like I said, once you finish, you feel completely sad because you gained weight. And two, now you're probably going to smell worse and it's going to take a long time for you to get the odor out of your system. And I don't know. I didn't want to make it too long, but that's all I have to say about emotional eating.